Hey, how's it going, guys? Mr. Boss for the win here, and in today's GTA 5 video, we're going to be talking about 15 more massive changes that Rockstar made in the Los Santos Summer Special DLC here in Grand Theft Auto Online that you might not have been aware about. So let's go ahead and jump into this as we've got a lot to discuss today. The first thing you'll probably notice if you log into online is that there are actually new loading screens. So I think it's been since the game came out on Xbox One, PS4, and PC since we've actually had new loading screens, and Rockstar have updated them to feature some of the artwork of previously released DLCs. So now when you're going through the cloud simulator and trying to get into lobbies and sessions, you'll have some fresh new artwork to look at. Doesn't necessarily have a big impact on the gameplay, but nevertheless, it is something that is brand new. Another thing that is brand new is the random drug encounter NPC events. So you'll run into these upwards in Palito Bay, you'll run into them around Grove Street, and you'll end up getting a text from a random member who'll ask for you to bring a supply of either drugs or something that you found back to them. Now, in case you guys are wondering if these random events are actually profitable or not, the answer is no. You only get about $10,000 for returning the supply. I guess the only real thing it does is make the game feel a bit more dynamic, but as far as generating a lot of money from you, the answer to that is no. The third thing today, Rockstar introduced some new masks, which are actually really cool, and some of those masks actually have a fun illumination feature. So under the sports mask, you'll find that there's a couple of tech options. All of them are kind of fun, fancy looking. Well, those masks will actually have illumination features. So if you go to your interaction menu and the illuminated clothing section, you can choose to turn them off, on, pulse, or glow. So like I said, you can play around with the different illumination features of each mask and each design. It actually does kind of make them pretty cool to see them flashing or pulsing. So that is another big change that Rockstar made that you might not have known about. Another thing that Rockstar did, and this is almost more of a Rockstar logic more than anything, is they added some new party shirts into the game. And the variants that they all added were all opened with a black t-shirt underneath. What's weird about this is Rockstar even has an option to open shirts that are traditionally closed or vice versa, but in this case, they're going to make you purchase a separate shirt, or at least a separate option. Because as you guys see there is a jacket open and jacket closed option, but it doesn't actually let you do that. And you actually have to have two different versions of the shirt. I don't know. It seems a little bit strange. I don't know why Rockstar could have just gone about doing that, because it literally is the exact same shirt with just a t-shirt underneath, but they want to make you have another one just so you can have it opened or closed. I don't know. Maybe there's an issue with the clipping of our characters and how that would affect the article of clothing. I've got no idea. It just seems really strange and a little bit weird. Moving on, number 5 today, we actually talked about how Wendy can now give you snacks at the arcade. For the longest time, she had been our new contact for about 8 months straight. And now, if you order a drink from her, which is what you have to do to get to snacks, you can get snacks for free. But what's different about getting snacks from her versus getting snacks from the store is you don't have to wait for them to be added to your inventory. There's no delay, so you can just spam E-Cola, Ego Chaser, Meteorite, P's and Q's, and even Redwoods if you want. So it actually makes it very convenient to get snacks from her now. And there's really, at this point, no excuse in which you should be paying for snacks or going to a less optimal way to go about getting them. So good on you, Wendy. Even though you block the path of our bar and you never seem to go anywhere else but just stand there, you now have a much more valuable role at the arcade. So that's pretty cool. Now, also speaking of the arcade, there is a new set of rewards and stats for the games that Rockstar ended up adding. So if you press the start button, go to stats, and then down to awards, you will find that there is a new section for Los Santos Summer Special. There is 5 rewards in total for the new games. The first is King of Cubed, which is get first place on the Cubed leaderboard. The next one is Cubism, which is to reach level 20 in Cubed without using special abilities. The next one is God of Cubed, get a score of 19,000 in a single play of Cubed. The next one is Qubits, reach level 20 without removing any blocks from play. And for the other game, Acts of Fury, it's 11-11, get the highest score in Acts of Fury 11 times. And the final one is Crank It to 11, get the highest score in Acts of Fury. All of those will reward 800 RP and give you platinum progress. So those are the new awards coming out of the arcade. The next thing that's pretty cool is new dialogue from our ship captain. So as you guys know, Rockstar introduced the Super Life Yacht missions. And if you actually just stand in the boardroom, the captain will have some interesting things to say regarding the new missions that have actually come about.
Hey, boss, if you get a sec, I really think you want to catch up with what's been happening on board of late. Always got some loose ends could do with tying up.
Now, I don't know if it's really important enough to look into what he had to say as anything maybe hinting towards the future or what's to come next, but the dialogue with him is certainly fun, and it definitely was exciting during the missions. Now, speaking of the cubed arcade game, Rockstar have actually added a new Penthouse decoration for the casino Penthouse. So this vintage arcade game poster can only be placed in certain locations, so that's something you're going to have to figure out and play around with. This one in the lounge always typically works really well for the new photos and new decorations that Rockstar introduced. And this is what it looks like right here. It's pretty fun, pretty festive. I really like the logo itself. That would make for like an awesome phone background, actually. So that's a new decoration that you can apply in your Penthouse if you're looking to spice it up or maybe even switch some things around. The other day, we talked about how Simeon's import-export vehicles, the ones that you take to like his little dock warehouse near the airport, that he actually increased the payouts for them. Well, it looks like he actually increased or changed the number of vehicles that you can get as well. Players have been reporting that new vehicles can be found, or Simeon wants new vehicles to be found, like the Obey Ricado, Lampadati Felon GT, Benefactor Shafter, Grati Carbonizaire, Debauche Exemplar. So not only are you getting a higher payout, but now you're grabbing new vehicles, which is kind of cool. It's like Rockstar giving a little bit of a makeup and a refresh to a very old thing we've had in the game. If anything, it might just encourage more players to do it. So I think that that was nice of Rockstar. Another thing that Rockstar ended up changing is the Mark II Oppressor cooldown now applies to the regular mechanic. So this was kind of a workaround in which you could still get your Oppressor Mark II faster as if you just called your regular mechanic. Now it's the same as if you get it from the interaction menu. It's still going to have that 5-minute cooldown. Another thing that Rockstar fixed is an adjustment to the Master Control Terminal. So when Rockstar added the Master Control Terminal in the last update, the Diamond Casino Heist, they actually flipped the colors. So you guys can see there that stock is supposed to be green and supply is supposed to be blue. Rockstar have now fixed that. But up until the other day, this was reversed, which confused a lot of players, and it had been like this for 8 months. So now you have to sort of dump that logic and now go back to your original thinking that yes, stock is green, supplies are blue. Again, I know this is going to be really hard for me because I always had to like consciously think about that Rockstar had made a mistake. Now they have fixed it and the Master Control Terminal should be back to normal. And the final thing we'll be discussing in this video today is someone special can actually be found in Solomon Richards' office. So as I'm sure you guys know, Solomon Richard needs help collecting 10 of his movie props, and you have to bring them back to his office. And Rockstar have set up his office like a crime scene, like there's cops in there. There's a lot of like police barricades and whatnot, and as you bring back the movie props, they'll start to be placed around his office. Well, there's one particular thing on his desk that is very interesting. It looks like it is a newspaper article that features Niko Bellic, the main protagonist from Grand Theft Auto 4. That's interesting. Why would this be on Solomon Richards' desk? I mean, I don't want to look into this too much, but is Solomon Richards looking into something that has to do with Niko Bellic? Is Niko Bellic just been in the news recently? If that's the case, that would place him actively in the GTA timeline in 2020, since this is found in present-day Grand Theft Auto Online. Like I said, I don't want to dive too deep into the rabbit hole here, but Niko Bellic does look as if he is finally returned, and who knows if we'll be seeing him sometime in the future. Could this be a hint from Rockstar? Could this just be a random newspaper prop that they placed in his office? Feel free to let me know in the comments down below. And likewise, I'd love to hear from you guys on everything we discussed in this video today and more. If you feel like there's some more big changes that Rockstar made that I didn't talk about in this video and that I should in another, let me know what you guys are thinking in those comments down below. If you guys did go on to enjoy this video though, a like rating would of course be awesome. And be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are new, or you want to stay up to date on all the latest GTA and all the Los Santos Summer Special DLC videos that I'll be doing here on my channel over the next couple of days and weeks. And be sure to ring that notification bell as well. Sometimes YouTube just doesn't work, and if you ring that bell, you'll always be guaranteed to be notified when new videos arrive. But of course, as always, guys, thank you all so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video.